Great Friday morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Cesar Mascoro Jr. with Manufactured Home Sales Mastery in with our Friday edition, episode 205 of the 15 Minutes to Mastery segment, where we come in each and every morning to get you some information, inspiration, and motivation to get your day started off on the right foot. And today we're talking about Manufactured Home Sales Mastery. Why not? Today we're talking about our training programs. We're talking about what makes our training programs unlike anyone else. Not for our sake, but for you to better understand what it's all about. And so with that being said, we're all about immersion around here. So what better way to describe this than with the quote here from Jordan Belfort, salesman extraordinaire. I believe in total immersion. You have to unlearn all the thoughts that we're making. You pour and replace them with new thoughts. I couldn't agree more, Jordan Belfort. Right? You have to unlearn all the bad habits. You have to unlearn all the things that maybe you learned before coming and selling manufactured homes. Because unlike what some people may think, selling manufactured homes is not easy. It takes time. It takes dedication. It takes learning a new way of selling. It takes learning a product. It takes understanding how people operate. But more importantly, it takes understanding how you operate. It takes understanding who you are as a person, why you're thinking of doing this as a career, why you're thinking of taking on manufactured home sales as a career. It takes understanding that. Yes, there is a psychology to the way people buy, and all our curriculum is based on that neuroscience based information of how end users or your potential clients end up making a decision on purchasing a home. That's what it's all about. That's what makes our program radically different than anything else. That, along with the fact that we don't start there. We start with you. We start with who you are as a person. What are your values? What are your passions? What is your purpose? Because without understanding what your purpose is, you're not going to put up with everything that you're going to go through in manufactured home sales, which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, is not easy. It's not as much as you think that it should be. I believe that it should be easy. I believe that, man, there's a housing crisis. There's a housing need. There's a housing shortage. There is no more affordable homes out there. And so people should be lining up by the droves outside of your office. They should just be wrapped around down the street, and you should be taking numbers, kind of like it was during COVID. If you remember during COVID, if you were in this business during COVID, when you pretty much had 10 people for every house. Now, folks, more than ever, you need to have a true sales process, not just a sales process, but you need to understand yourself as a sales consultant, as a housing consultant. And so that's where all our training stems from, or it starts with you. But why immersion? Why, because some people will say, hey, you know what? It's better to break it up. And I'm going to give you a case study that is undeniable as to why breaking up your training into little segments, bite-sized chunks, is really not the way to go. Okay. Especially not if it's only 1 or 2 days a week. Okay. But what is immersive training? Immersive training, okay, it's a deeper learning. It's about skill acquisition. It's about completely engulfing yourself, just as the word says, immersing yourself in the learning of a new subject. Why do you think that all the federal agencies, when they're dealing or teaching people to learn new languages, it's an immersive program? You know what? As a matter of fact, we have 2 of our sons in what's called the dual language program at their elementary school. So that what happens is, you see, I'm fully bilingual. I speak both Spanish and English. My parents are from Mexico. I'm first generation American, and I grew up speaking Spanish. But in my house right now and with my family, we don't speak Spanish, hardly ever. but I feel it's very important that my children learn Spanish. And so we have them in this dual language program because it's an immersive style of learning. In kindergarten, they get in, it starts in kindergarten, and what they do is 90% of the curriculum is in Spanish and 10% is in English. Okay. And as the years go on, that percentage changes 80-20, 70-30, 60-40, until you get to 50-50. So that they are just immersed in that training so that they learn the language. They not only learn the language, it becomes a part of them. It becomes, it starts to, they start thinking in both languages. Okay. And so that you got your government agencies when they're teaching, you know, I'm talking FBI and things of that nature, right? CIA, when they're teaching them new languages, they go through an immersive program. You go online, you hear about all of these things. If you want to go learn, if you want to learn Spanish, go live in Mexico for 6 months, right? There's no better immersion than that. Okay. And same thing goes for any other language. So as it applies to manufactured home sales, what I learned throughout my 15-year career in sales is the little bit of training that we did, and when we hired somebody, was not enough. It was not enough. I'm telling you, because the reason that a lot of us make it through and operate at high levels, because we dedicate ourselves to continuously learning and learning it on our own. But most people do not do that. Most people will not apply themselves in that way. And so that's why you have to have that immersion type of training, as opposed to doing little bits in here and there, right? Whether it's daily, okay, going through a multi-week program, 6 to 8 weeks, or especially if you're only doing 2 days a week, that's just not going to get you anything. But let me tell you what happens, the reason for it, and how I can speak about this with such conviction is because Manufactured Home Sales Mastery, one of our first training clients that we started with almost a year ago, we did that. And one of the things that I've always talked about with us as a company is, this is not a money grab. We want to make sure you have results. We want to make sure that your team, when they get done with us, or we're done with the training, that they are actually producing results. So our first client, we broke it up. It was daily. I was going for an hour and just doing an hour's worth of training. And we did that for 8 weeks. And the results just weren't there. It's just not something that is comprehended, because here's the thing: there's what's called there's a retention curve, or a forgetting curve. Okay, did you know that 50% of what you learned is lost within an hour? If you're doing an hour's worth of training, you lose 50% of it. I'm sorry, you lose 50% of it within a day. You lose 75% by the next day of an hour's worth of training. And because of that, at that point in time, I switched it up. I was like, we can't do this way anymore. And we're just going to come in and collect the paycheck and then move on. And that's not what it's about, right? So we switched to an immersive style training. And so with that, it allows us the opportunity to do role playing. It allows us the opportunity to actually interact and feed off of each other and go over different scenarios. It gives us the time to really dig into what is going on, and that engagement, not just a talking head up in front of a class explaining how to sell. We don't really do much of the how to sell. That's probably 30%, 40% of what we do, because it's all about the processes. It's all about the being able to make ourselves, endear ourselves, and build that trust, and be able to be the consultant. Okay. So that's what the immersive style training does, because when you go to a segmented type of training, that fragmented learning is just, it's something that it makes it very difficult for someone to really connect the dots between, why do we do this? Because there's a lot of, well, why would you even do it that way? Okay. So it makes it difficult for people to connect the dots between these things. And so when they're trying to apply it, they're not able to apply it because they don't understand why it even happens that way. Okay. And so they're not effective in real life situations. And you've got the retention issues. I already mentioned those, right? You lose 50% of that, what you learned in an hour, you lose 50% of it in the first day, 75% by the next. There's that lack of cohesion between what's being learned. Okay. And so there's no real foundation to build on as compared to an immersive style of training. So that's why Manufactured Home Sales Mastery, all our training programs that we do are immersive. Okay. We do some online in case you don't want to travel, right? We do some online. We can do that as well, depending on the size of the group. But we all know, we've all been on those Zoom calls, right? Where we're not paying attention. We're over here doing everything else. We got the screens off. We're on our phones. We're really not focused in. But if that's how you prefer to do it, we can give that a shot. But I prefer to do the in-person because we're there in the room. Everyone's engaged. Everyone is in it. And we're all learning. And we're all going about this, doing it the right way. So not just that, I also figured this other thing out. Okay. The class is great. The class, everyone walks away from this class so hyped up, ready to go, wanting to attack the day, get after it. But then we left there and it just dropped off, right? Some stuck, some didn't. We'd find out that some people were following through and the majority weren't, right? So here's what we decided to do. If you're going to do one of our programs, it automatically comes with a follow-up support and training that goes on for a period of time after the class, specific to that class, where we're making sure that, hey, where are you struggling? What is going on? We go over topics that we not only trained on, but others. It allows us the opportunity, because as simple as people may think that manufactured home sales is, it's not. We all know that. You folks know that are out there right now on the front lines doing the selling. Okay. No one can come in and snow you and say, oh, this job is easy. You don't have to worry about those things. You know, it's not. We all know that. We've all been there. At least those of us that have been in it in the modern day times, right? Not 30 years ago. You know, back 30 years ago is a different story. Today, in today's day and age, there's so many nuances, so many different things that go on in the sale, throughout the sales process, with the financing and things that we know it's a more engaged type of sale. It's a career that requires a very intense type of training so that you can really master it. And that's what we've brought. So we also have included with all our programs that follow-up support that comes with it. And then we have other things that we do, like this 15 minutes to mastery. What separates Manufactured Home Sales Mastery is we're here providing you what you need to be able to move forward, go through and really learn bits and pieces here. We give you free things like this 15 minutes to mastery. We're always posting things online on all our different social platforms. We've got so much out there with podcasts and things of that nature, where some people have even asked me, clients are like, hey man, I think you give too much information away. Well, I don't think we give enough. And we will continue to do that. And that's because we're all about results. We're all about making sure. So not only do we do the immersive style training, whether it's for the community side of the business or the retail side of the business, where we are engulfed in it for several days and really getting after it, so that the people walk away with an empowered, learned skill and process. But more importantly, they walk away understanding themselves and how they can apply themselves to what we do. And then we've got the follow-up training that goes along with it. And then we can continue on from there with further training, which I strongly believe is necessary. Okay. That's why it's part of what we offer. But with our training programs, you get the program, you get the follow-up training. Okay. So what makes Manufactured Home Sales Mastery unlike any other training program out there? I put it up against anybody's training in any industry. One, first and foremost, before I even get into my list, is going to be the fact that we are truly purpose driven. The fact that we're here, the fact that I decided to leave a very lucrative career in manufactured home sales as general manager to start this company is because this is my way of being able to help more families become homeowners through you. And as we build a team and we help more people and we get into more states, we've already been in 10 different states, and my goal for this year to have that be 25. But as we go along, we're helping more families through you, the people that are participating in our classes, that are in our training programs, that are in our coaching programs, that are in our consulting programs. So we're purpose driven for them through you by helping you operate at an elite level. But on top of that, okay, it's a modern day applicable curriculum. Okay. I was in the business up until a year ago. I'm still in the business now through our consulting program, right? This next week, you guys see me all the time. I'm in Tyler, Texas for a week because I've got a year-long consulting program that I'm doing there with one of our clients, where I'm in the retail center for the whole week. We're working together. We're selling. We're doing everything. We're getting their inventory right. We're doing all of this. We're heavily involved in the business. We got other clients that we do things on the sales side to help them out as well. So we are in the business now. It's not like I was in the business 20, 30, 40 years ago. So what we teach, what we do, the nuances of the business are what happens now. And that is a true benefit, right? The immersive format speeds up the learning. You learn quicker because I said in those segmented, we tried that once and it doesn't work. And I committed to that's not what it's going to be for us. That's not who we are. If that's what you prefer, that's not that we're just not made for each other, right? But it speeds up the learning and it increases retention, which that's what you want as an owner, as a retailer, as a manager, as a general manager. That's what you want your team to not just learn, but you want them to retain it and keep moving forward, right? We have the follow-up support and training that goes along with it to ensure results, because we are results oriented, as I mentioned, as I'm going to mention here shortly. But our programs, our training programs, are also customized based on your team's needs. We have a call before, figure out where we're needing to really focus to make sure that part or parts of the training are really, really captured by everyone, so that they can leave there and have immediate results, because that's all that matters. You want to make sure that your investment is paying off and that it's reaping the rewards by helping more families, by getting more business. Okay. We've mentioned it from day one when we started this company, that our programs will guarantee you at least an extra 2 to 3 sales per sales consultant per month. Fundings, not sales, fundings. After the 90-day period, right? You got to give them some time to ramp up and get some sales under the belt after the program. But our goal is to get your sales consultant adding another 2 to 3 funded deals per month. And that's what we're after, because it's all results oriented. That's the difference between immersion style training and segmented training. Don't let anyone fool you into thinking that's convenience, right? Oh, well, everybody wants short little classes. Yeah. And guess I've paid plenty of times. I paid a $99 or a $200, $300 course online, and I maybe attended half of it. Why? Because one, I didn't really invest all that much money, and everything else is more important at that point in time. Do you really want to do something like that? And especially when it's only, once a day for a few minutes, 30, 45 minutes, or maybe it's a couple days a week for 45 minutes. Well, what are you going to get from that? That's the difference between immersive style training and segmented training. And folks, you need to make sure that you are getting the results that you're after. And that's what we're committed to here at Manufactured Home Sales Mastery, because we want to make sure that you're getting the results, and we want to make sure that you're helping as many people out there to become those people, to become the homeowners that they can be. And we're so grateful for each and every one of you. And we're grateful for all of those folks that we're going to meet here in the near future as we go along, building on manufactured home sales mastery. Don't forget in June, I'll be in Phoenix speaking to a group out there, doing some training as well. White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia, middle of June, and then in Orlando. And then in July, we've already got Phoenix again with a different group. And I'm going to be back in Orlando. For a different group out there. So we're really moving forward. We'd love to be able to be a success partner for you as well. So reach out to us here at Manufactured Home Sales Mastery so that we can discuss how or what kind of possibilities there are to make sure that we're a great fit for you, because we want to make sure that we are able to provide you the results that you're after. You guys have a great Friday. Let's get after it, man. Set up a great selling Saturday for tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day. And as always, I can't wait to meet you.